Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this home called Bridgeway Avenue. So if you want to go ahead and download it for yourself, it is up in the gallery now. My origin ID is real, ThomasTV1. So this home is kind of like a starter style home, but I wasn't really that focused on the price, to be honest. It is sort of affordable, I guess. It came in around 36,000 simoleons, which I mean is a little bit pricey, but you know, your Sims can easily make money, and I feel like that's one thing I think we can all agree on in The Sims 4 is that it's kind of really easy to make money. You know, just selling a few plants and you've got a couple of hundred already. So you know, it's, you know, I don't know, why do I keep saying, you know, I don't know. It is a little bit expensive, but not as crazy as some of my other ones, because normally I don't like to restrict myself on how much money I'm using in my builds, because I don't use any custom content, and I don't really like to restrict myself in packs I'm using, again, because I don't use custom content to kind of make up for that. But, you know, recently I've been doing a lot of bigger builds, and I've kind of missed doing these smaller builds sometimes, because especially this time around, like I've got an exam next week, so I've been, you know, a lot of time has been going into studying for that, so I haven't had that much time to do a big mansion or anything this week, so I thought it'd be, you know, nice to do something a little bit smaller, since I don't do those that often as what I normally did. So, yeah, it is the kind of like colour scheme I went for was kind of like a neutral colour scheme, because I know, like, I used to use neutral colour schemes quite a lot, and I did that for most of my builds, to be honest, a while ago, and I felt like I really needed to start switching it up a little bit, so I turned to use the colour red quite a lot, and I think we can all agree on that now, that red is kind of like my main colour that I use. So I did actually go ahead and use a bit of red in this build, just this brick colour. I thought it was kind of nice, because I did use this kind of like neutral coloured off-white sort of siding, so I thought it'd be nice to maybe use red as some sort of colour to add into it, and I thought it looked kind of nice actually. So we'll see that red brick inside as well. So in terms of what packs I used today, I used quite a few really. I wasn't, like I said, I'd restrict myself on it. You can see here that I did use a few cats and dogs items. I wasn't really planning on using cats and dogs. It isn't really a cats and dogs sort of themed build. Like I said, it's called Bridgeway Avenue. Now, when I use street names, it's normally because I have like a specific type of build that I want to do, but I've already done it. So that kind of doesn't make sense. Well, there's a lot of starter homes that I like to do, but I've done like 1,000,001 starter homes in the past, so doing another, you know, putting in the title starter home build, it's kind of a little bit boring. So kind of thinking a street name like this, like coming up with these, I think it's kind of a nice sort of thing to do, so it means I can do the type of builds that I really like without it being as repetitive, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you have any like street name ideas or anything for future builds, that'd be really helpful, because what I actually do is I kind of just find street name generators and stuff, totally random, just like name generators and stuff on Google, and I just search for them and go through until I find one. So it's always kind of hard to do that sometimes, because either I've used it once or it kind of seems too posh for the type of build I'm doing, if that makes sense, because a lot of them are like that I find. So if you ever have any ideas for kind of street names I could have for future builds, then feel free to leave that down in the comment section and I'll make a note of it. So one thing about this build that I wasn't really too sure about was the bedroom. Now you can see that it is pretty narrow and it looks kind of strange, to be honest, but I think it's alright. I kind of managed to get everything in it. The one thing you'll see, well, actually, I'll talk about the bedroom once I get onto it, because that's what I do sometimes in my builds when I'm doing the voiceover. I'll talk about something later on the build whilst we're on a different part of the build, if that makes sense. So I'll leave that part what we're just about to talk about until we get to it. So the main part of this build here is kind of got the kitchen and the living room kind of all open plan. I thought since it is kind of like a small home, I guess having it all closed off would look a little bit too cramped. So you can see that this main area of the home is kind of open plan. We'll also have a little dining table there. I was going to put like a bigger dining table in this build, but I kind of thought that since this is just for 1 or 2 Sims, having like a big dining table isn't really that necessary, so that's what we'll just have. And if other people come over, then there is a sofa and another seat there as well, and also some seats in the bedroom, which, I mean, I don't know if guests want to sit there whilst you're having dinner, I don't know, but there is still seating there if you need it. So, like I said, we did go with this neutral colour scheme inside as well, similar to the siding that we used, as well as that red brick that's coming in there as well. So, in terms of other things to talk about, well, my video yesterday that I put up, I kind of talked about everything that's going on at the minute. I talked about Netflix and Gilmore Girls because I'm absolutely obsessed with that. I don't know what it is, it's just, I just can't stop watching it. It's literally taken over my life. Anyway, I talked about that in yesterday's video, so if you want to know more about that, then go back and watch that video. Anyway, well, at least I think it is yesterday's video, the luxury cabin. I think this is going up on a Sunday the 26th. Yeah, that luxury cabin went up yesterday the 25th. So if you're watching this on the 26th, then I'm talking about yesterday's video of the luxury cabin. Anyway, I'm rambling. So also you may notice is that later on in the build, we'll go outside to do the landscaping, and then we'll kind of didn't do the bathroom. Well, don't worry, we do go back to do that. For some reason, I kind of forgot to do the bathroom. I don't know why, I kind of just did, but before we end the video, we do go back and do that. So this is what I was just about to talk about early on in the build. So you can see here it is a little bit narrow, so it was a little bit odd to kind of get the bedroom in here, well the bed I should say, because it's kind of a very odd shape, and you can see that the window behind the bed is slightly off center. Now I did try to move it, but it would still be off center to the bed, so I just kind of left it how it was. I mean, I thought it would actually bug me by having it slightly off center to the bed, but to be honest, it wasn't really too much of a big deal. So I mean, you could rearrange things if you need to, if that does bother you, because I can imagine it will for some people, which is kind of understandable. So yeah, if you want to move it around, that's fine. This is a really odd shape for a bedroom, isn't it? I think I have done shaped bedrooms like this before, but it's not really something I do a whole lot of. So yeah, I'm just putting a few decorations down and things. Now, it is a starter home style build, so in terms of decorations and things that I was thinking of, I was trying to keep it somewhat simple because I didn't want to have like some sort of like starter home style build, but then it'll turn out to be 100,000 simoleons. So I did try to restrict myself a little bit in terms of what I was placing down. I did try to keep things a little bit more simple because that kind of brings the price down a lot, and also it makes it just a little bit more, I guess, starter style, and it's kind of just sometimes a little bit easier to navigate, if that makes sense, because sometimes I can overpack homes with decorations and things, and it can be a little bit boring to look at. So I do like to try and keep things simple sometimes, and I actually have been doing that quite a lot recently with my builds. So we're just working on the landscaping here, and then we'll go back and do the bathroom. So one thing I did with this landscaping is I kept it pretty simple. I do use those low-lying palm plants, I think they're called, or something, as kind of like a base for my landscaping, but today I didn't actually do that, which I thought was kind of, I just want to do something a little bit different, and it also meant I kept it a little bit more simple and the price down a little bit lower. I'm also just go ahead and put one tree there, and we're pretty much finished with the landscaping. Like I said, I wanted to keep things a little bit simple in this build, so I didn't go too over the top with everything, and we do also have a little porch area there as well, which I also kept pretty simple. So after we're finished with the bathroom, we're pretty much finished with this build. So I really hope you enjoyed. In the comment section down below, please make sure you let me know about what you thought of this build, and if you have any suggestions for next time, that'd be really, really helpful. I'm always open to build suggestions and anything, and also street name suggestions like I mentioned earlier. Make sure you leave this video with a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and also don't forget to head over to the gallery to download this for yourself. My origin ID is Real Thomas TV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!